أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the Tashilul-Quran class for Hifz. And let's start today's class with the starting prayers. Okay, now I'm going to unmute a student, N6 229. Assalamu alaikum. N6 229, can you hear me? Okay. N6 to 33. Okay, I'll unmute another student. N6 to 1.
Assalamualaikum. Hello.
Hello. N6219, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Let's start with today's class with the prayers. First recite Tawuz and Tasmiyah, and then recite this prayer with me. Okay, I'll recite it and then you repeat it after me, okay?
Okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
رب اشرح لي صدري
رب اشرح لي صدري.
You're not supposed to prolong the li sound here. رب اشرح لي صدري.
رب اشرح. How would you say that?
رب اشرح لي صدري.
رب اشرح لي صدري.
ويسر لي أمري.
ويسر لي أمري.
Jazakallah. Now can you do the translation?
Yeah. Lord, expand my mind and make my tasks easy for me.
Jazakallah. Now the next prayer.
Should I repeat after you or shall I just like
I think you can do this one by yourself.
Okay. Rabbi zidni ilma. Oh Lord, increase me in my knowledge.
Jazakallah. Okay, now I'll mute you again. Now, for the G2 class, I'll tell you the etiquettes. Before the lesson starts, always make sure that you have performed wuzu, and always keep your head covered during the class. Always make sure that you revise your lesson that has been taught each day, and make sure that all the students sit with an adult during the class, so they can see that you're following the class properly. And if you have any problems during the class, you can ask for help from the adult who's supervising you. Always make sure that your audio and video is off. Only the main teacher will unmute you when she needs you to recite something, and she'll unmute you herself. So you're not supposed to have your audio or your video on at any times. Make sure that your video is turned off and your audio is turned off as well. always make sure that you log in with the correct ID. This is very important because now we've entered into the second week of our G2 class, and if any students from now on log in with the incorrect ID, then we will put them in the waiting room until they have logged in with the correct ID. So please make sure with this. During the lesson, always the class and follow whatever the teacher is telling you to do during the class. Keep your hands down unless the teacher requests you to raise your hand, and always wait for permission before leaving the classroom. After the lesson is completed, revise your lesson at home, and because this class is for Hifz, you have to make sure that you always practice a lot at home, and you make sure that you Hifz, you memorize all the chapters that have already been practiced with the teachers, and make sure that you memorize them with the correct pronunciation and a good tune. And always make sure that you complete the assigned homework which is given to you every day. Now let's move on to our today's lesson. Today's lesson is chapter number 110, Surah An-Nasr. I'll give you, sorry, let's just, okay. So I'll give you a little introduction for this chapter that we're going to be practicing today, Surah Nasr. This chapter is chapter number 110 of Quran Majid. This chapter was revealed in Makkah, and the word Nasr means help. In this chapter, Allah tells the believers that the promised victory has come and a large number of people have joined Islam. Therefore, they should thank Allah and praise Him and seek protection from Him against shortcomings and moral weaknesses. That's the main summary, little information that you need to keep in mind, just to tell you what this surah is, this chapter is about. Now let's move on to practicing the recitation of today's new chapter. First, I will recite this surah, this chapter by myself. And while I'm reciting this surah by myself, I want all the students who are listening at home to make sure that they recite after me, they repeat the recitation at home after me.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Can you make our co-host is here? Can you make her co-host?
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Has the support teacher joined in as a co-host right now?
No, she is there as G12 MT ST331.
Okay. Yeah, I've already made her co-host right now.
Exactly.
Okay. Now I will start the recitation of Surah Nasr. And all the students listening to this recitation, please make sure that you repeat after me at home. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا. Okay. Can the support teacher please select a student to recite the surah from us?
Our first tifl is A5206.
Okay. A5206, can you hear us? A5206. Assalamu alaikum. A5206. Can you hear me? Okay, maybe you can select another student.
Okay. A5222.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. A5222.
Yes.
Okay. Can you please recite Surah Nasr from the beginning till the end? And make sure that you recite Tawuz and Tasmiyah before you start this chapter.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمدك واستغفر
فسبح بحمد ربك.
فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا.
Okay. You made a few mistakes. I'll try to correct them. First, when you recited Tawuz, you pronounced A'udhu wrong. It's pronounced A'udhu. Can you pronounce it like that? أعوذ أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
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 No, that was wrong. أعوذ. Make sure that you pronounce the ayn sound from the throat. أعوذ.
أعوذ.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح.
إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح.
Here you have to prolong the sound ja, because there's elongated. You have to elongate this for like 4 seconds at least. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح
إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح
ورأيت الناس يدخلون.
ورأيت الناس يدخلون.
Right here, we have noon mushaddad, and whenever pronouncing noon mushaddad, you have to make sure that you pause a little bit at the noon sound and make a nasal sound. وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ, like this. Can you pronounce like that?
Yes. ورأيت الناس.
No. You're not supposed to prolong the alif sound. We're supposed to prolong the noon sound. وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ.
ورأيت الناس.
That was better. وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ.
ورأيت الناس يدخلون.
في دين الله أفواجا.
في دين الله أفواجا.
فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر.
فسبح بحمدك واستغفر.
Try to pay attention to what you're reading. You mispronounced here. And with the ha sound, make sure that you produce the ha sound from your throat as well. فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّكَ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ.
فسبح بحمدك
فَسَبِّحْ بِحَمْدِ
فسبح بحمد
رَبِّكَ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ.
ربك واستغفر.
إِنَّهُ
إنه
كَانَ تَوَّابًا.
كان توابا.
While we were reciting before, you prolonged the alif sound over here, and you're not supposed to do that. You pronounce it like tawwaba. It's not supposed to be pronounced like that. You're not supposed to prolong the alif sound here. You're supposed to stress a little bit on the wow because of the mushaddad, wow mushaddad here. But you're not supposed to prolong this part, but you can prolong the ba sound here a little bit because the verse is ending over here. إِنَّهُ كَانَ تَوَّابًا.
إنه كان توابا.
Okay, Jazakallah. Can support teacher please select another student for us?
جزاك الله.
Jazakallah.
Yes, our next student is N6186.
N6186.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, N6186.
Ji.
Can you recite Surah Nasr?
Ji.
Okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا.
Jazakallah. Okay, you made a few mistakes, and I'll try to correct the mistakes you made. Um, First of all, your pronunciation and your tune is very, very good. It's very nice, and I think you made the same mistake which a lot of students do with a'udhu billah. The ayn sound in a'udhu, you have to pronounce the ayn sound from the throat. A'udhu.
A'udhu.
Yeah. So try to practice that when you're reciting every time. Okay. Now another mistake I found was the prolongation here wasn't made properly in Izaja. You can see that you have to elongate this word, as I've already mentioned before. You have to prolong this word for at least 4 or 5 seconds. So you have to pronounce it like Izaja Nasrullah. You have to prolong it a little bit, the sound of ja. Okay. Next mistake was on this word, NASA. You prolonged the alif sound over here. Wara'aytan nasa. You're not supposed to prolong the alif sound over here. So you're supposed to pronounce it like wara'aytan nasa.
Okay.
The alif sound will be just pronounced for 1 second. But as I said before, that the noon mushaddad is supposed to be the sound of the noon mushaddad is supposed to be prolonged just a little bit, and it makes a nasal sound. Wara'aytan nasa.
Okay.
Okay. Can you repeat that?
Wara'aytan
Wara'aytan nasa.
Wara'aytan nasa.
Wara'aytan nasa.
Wara'aytan nasa.
Okay, that's better. Try to prolong the noon sound, the noon mushaddad sound a little more. Like you're supposed to pause a little bit on the noon sound. Wara'aytan nasa.
Wara'aytan nasa.
That was very good.
Okay. Jazakallah.
And also over here, you made a mistake. You pronounced this part dinillahi. When there's kasra before lam, you cannot make thick sound, thick lam sound. The lam sound will only be thick if the previous letter has a fatha or a dhamma. But if it's a kasra, like here, on noon it has kasra, so you cannot make a thick lam sound. You have to make a thin lam sound, like dinillahi, fi dinillahi, afwaja.
Okay.
Okay? Otherwise, your pronunciation and your tune is very, very good. Jazakallah. Now, let's move on to Hifz part. Can the support teacher please select a student for reciting Hifz?
So I'm going to give mic to A519. Sorry. Just give me a moment, sorry.
Okay, no problem.
A5210.
Okay.
Hello?
Assalamu alaikum. A5210.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. This is A5210.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just check. Okay. You haven't recited Surah Fatiha before in this class. Is that correct? Okay. So, have you memorized Surah Fatiha with correct pronunciation?
Yeah.
Okay. Please recite Surah Fatiha then.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Okay. Jazakallah. You made the same mistake with the ta'awuz pronunciation. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Can you pronounce it again? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
A'udhu.
أعوذ
That was better. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay. Next you made a mistake. Iyyaka na'budu. You didn't pronounce this correctly. In one place you pronounce it right, and in one you didn't pronounce it correctly. It's supposed to be pronounced Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Okay, that was very good. Just make sure that you do not prolong the sound of alif in Iyyaka. It's not supposed to be pronounced Iyyaka. You're not supposed to prolong the alif sound too much. Okay. And another main mistake that you made here was waladolin. You have to prolong the dod sound, dod alif sound. You have to prolong that because it's supposed to be prolonged. It's an elongation letter. So you have to prolong this for like at least 4 or 5 seconds. And because there is lam mushaddad immediately after dod alif, you have to pronounce it, you have to stress the lam sound just afterwards quickly, like waladolin.
Yeah.
Can you do it like that?
Waladolin.
That was very good. Jazakallah. Okay, can the support teacher please select another student for his?
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Our next student is N6200, but before that, 9 students that I can still see some students with incorrect IDs. So please rename yourself or enter again with the correct IDs. Or students who are using their siblings' ID from G1 class, they also need to rename themselves. Otherwise, I will put them in the waiting list. So please rename yourself. Our next student is N6200.
N6200, can you hear us? Okay, can you mute them, please?
I didn't see the chicken breathe. You attacked it.
Jazakallah. Please make sure that there's no disturbance whenever you are unmuted. All the students, please make sure of this. Can the support teacher please give the mic to another student?
Yes. Our next student is N6196.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. N6196.
Yes.
Okay. Can the support teacher tell me which surah she needs to recite for us for his?
I think she didn't get the chance to recite any of them.
Okay, Jazakallah. So can you recite Surah Fatiha for us?
Okay. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin.
Jazakallah. That was a very lovely tune and very well recited. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
I will point out a few mistakes here. Okay. The first mistake I noticed here was na'budu. I think you prolonged the sound of do here a little bit too long. Na'budu. You prolonged it a little bit too much, I think. So make sure that you do not prolong any letter that has only fatah, kasra, or dhamma. You're supposed to prolong them for only 1 second. Try to make sure of that. Okay. You're supposed to pronounce it like Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Can you recite this verse again? Iyyaka na'budu.
Okay. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in.
Iyyaka wa iyyaka.
Wa iyyaka
Yes.
nasta'in.
Yes. Also, the sound of ta is supposed to be pronounced a little thicker than the sound of ta. Is siratul lazina, there's a ta in sirat. You have to pronounce the ta sound a little bit thicker, like siratul lazina.
Okay.
Can you do it like that? Siratul lazina.
Siratal lazina.
Siratul lazina.
Siratal lazina.
Okay. Also, I noticed while you were reciting the last verse, صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. Here, you have to keep going, and you cannot stop at alayhim because there's a la. There's the you have to keep continuing. But whenever you're reciting your when you were reciting your, you were losing your breath a little bit, so you had to break between the words. So make sure if you're running out of breath, you can pause at alayhim and then go back uh, and pronounce it and then go again, like صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Whenever you feel like you're losing your breath, just stop on a word that is appropriate to stop, and then when you catch your breath again, you begin reciting from a couple of words before where you stopped. Okay?
Okay.
Jazakallah. That was very well recited. And
Jazakallah.
now, can the support teacher please select another student?
Our next student is A5206.
A5206. A5206, can you hear me? A5206. Okay, can you give my another student?
Yes. A5183.
A5183.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. A5183.
Yes.
Okay. Can the support teacher tell me if this student has recited Hifz before?
No.
Okay. Jazakallah. A5183, can you recite Surah Fatiha for us then?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Jazakallah. That was very well recited and very good tune. You only made one mistake at the very end. Wala dallin.
Okay.
Can you recite the last words again? Siratul lazina.
صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
ولا الضالين.
ولا الضالين.
Okay, Jazakallah. That was very good. Have you recited Surah Nas as well?
No.
Okay. Have you memorized Surah Nas with correct pronunciation?
Yeah.
Okay. Then if you can please recite Surah Nas by heart first.
Yeah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ملك الناس إله الناس.
No, that's not right. Surah Nas. قل أعوذ.
Oh, قل
Yes.
أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس.
Okay. I have already taught you that we're supposed to prolong the sound of Noon Mushaddad. We'll go to part 30 here. Surah Nas. Whenever there is Noon Mushaddad, like in this surah, Surah Nas, Noon Mushaddad is repeated over and over again. Make sure that whenever you're pronouncing the Noon Mushaddad sound, you stress on the Noon sound a little bit. You're supposed to pronounce it like Birabbin Nas. Just stop a little bit, stop for a couple of seconds on the sound of Noon. Birabbin Nas, like this. If try to repeat this. Try to repeat this first verse again, please. قل أعوذ.
قل أعوذ برب الناس.
قل أعوذ برب الناس.
قل أعوذ برب الناس.
Okay. ملك الناس.
ملك الناس.
إله الناس.
إله الناس.
من شر الوسواس الخناس.
من شر الوسواس الخناس
الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. Jazakallah. I hope you remember this, the mistakes you made and how I corrected you, and you remember to remember the correct pronunciation when you practice at home.
Yeah.
Jazakallah.
Yeah.
Can the support teacher please select another student for us?
Yes, our next student is N6219. But before that, I can still see some students with incorrect IDs, so please rename yourself. Otherwise, I will remove you.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. N6219?
Yeah.
Has this student recited hifz before?
No.
No.
Okay. Then you have memorized Surah Fatiha with correct pronunciation before?
Yeah.
Okay. Then please recite Surah Fatiha.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin.
Jazakallah. Okay, you made a few mistakes. I'll point out the mistakes to you. The kaf sound in iyaka, you pronounced the ka sound a thicker sound, like qaf sound. You have to pronounce the kaf with a thin sound. Iyaka.
Okay.
Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Can you repeat that again?
What bit?
Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in.
Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in.
I think you're pronouncing the kaf sound with a thick sound again. Try to pronounce it with a thin sound. Iyaka.
Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in.
That was better, Jazakallah. And also at Ihdina Siratul Mustaqim, you can stop, pause, take a pause over here, and because at Mustaqim, the verse is ending, so you can stop here and take a breath, and then move on to the next verse, because if you try to read more than one verse at a time with a single breath, you will get out of breath in between the verse. So that is not preferred. So that would be, it would be better if you just stop whenever a verse is ending, and then take a breath and then start the other verse.
Okay.
Okay, Jazakallah. That was very well recited. A very nice tune as well.
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah. Okay, can support teacher please select another student for us?
Yes, our next student is A5218.
Okay.
Oh my God, you say
A5218. A5218, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. A5218 has not recited yet for his before?
Pardon?
Can the support teacher tell me if A5218 has recited for his before?
No.
Okay, Jazakallah. A5218, have you memorized Surah
Yeah.
Al-Fatiha with correct pronunciation?
Yeah.
Then please recite it.
Pardon?
Please recite Surah Al-Fatiha and make
Oh,
sure
okay.
there's no disturbance around you so we can hear you clearly.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Always start with A'udhu Billah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Jazakallah. You made a few mistakes that we are taught, the very basic kind of mistakes. As I've already told the students, that make sure when you're reciting that whenever there's a fatha, kasra, or dhamma, you're only supposed to pronounce them for 1 second and not prolong them more than 1 second. Iyyaka na'budu, you prolonging the sound a little bit more than required here, and wa iyyaka, you are also prolonging the sound of ka a little bit more. So make sure that you always pronounce the fatha, kasra, and dhamma for only 1 second and not more than 1 second. You were reciting with a very nice tune and with very good pronunciation as well. Also, make sure that you pronounce the sound of dod with a little thick sound, maghdubi, and also with waladdallin. Jazakallah. Okay, now I'll give you the homework. All the students, please make sure that the chapter that was recited today, Surah An-Nasr, you have to memorize this with correct pronunciation as taught today during this class, and make sure that you hifz this surah, memorize this surah with the correct pronunciation as taught today. And because you have to you have to memorize this chapter, you have to repeat every verse at least 10 to 15 times with correct pronunciation, with Quran Majid open in front of you, so you make sure that you're not making any mistakes while memorizing it, and you memorize with correct pronunciations. Also, can the support teacher please select a student for us to recite the ending prayers for us?
Yes, N6202.
N6202. N6202. N6202, can you hear me? Okay, you can select another student.
Yes. N6192.
N6192. Walaikum Assalam. Please make sure there's no disturbance around you. Jazakallah. N6192. Now we'll recite the ending prayers. Please repeat after me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
اللهم ارحمني.
اللهم ارحمني
بالقرآن العظيم.
بالقرآن العظيم.
واجعله لي إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة. إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة
إماما وهدى ورحمة
إماما ونورا
إماما وهدى
إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة
إماما ونورا
وهدى ورحمة
هدى ورحمة
وهدى ورحمة.
وهدى ورحمة.
Okay, please do the translation.
O Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran, and make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Jazakallah. Jazakallah for all the students for joining us in this class today. I hope you learn the correct pronunciation and you make sure that you will repeat and hifz Surah Nasr with correct pronunciation at home. Jazakallah all for attending the class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.